A portion of today's video is brought to you by Zipix nicotine toothpicks. For more information on them, stick around until the end of this video, or if you're champing at the bit, click the link in the description below. You probably won't be alarmed or surprised to learn that I believe Tim Pool is a creepy, twitchy, insecure little turd. He is, however, you might be shocked to learn, an exceedingly wealthy, twitchy, insecure, creepy little turd. Imbued by Russia, propagandists and intelligence officers with millions of dollars. I believe it was millions, like $100,000 for a video, and he had to do one a month or one a week or some nonsense. He was enriched by Vladimir Putin to offer lies and propaganda in service to Russia against the interest of the United States. So what does he get after Donald Trump wins the election? Rewarded with a seat in the White House press pool. This is what took place yesterday, and I want to talk about it a little bit. But before we get into the meat of the question that he asked, and then him going on his show to report on what happened like he's a journalist, something happened right before she introduced him. And he's in frame, and I want to show what took place, because he is a smug, unearned, arrogant little douchebag. And that is... they announced the retirement of a pool photographer who'd been there for like 44 years or something. I don't remember the number. Caroline Levitt will say it in this clip I'm getting ready to show you. It's like 38 seconds. And the press pool erupts in applause, congratulating this person for retirement and being there and service to the country and her organization for, I think it's 40 years. And look at Tim Pool. We'll put a little circle around him. Unmoved, unfazed, uninterested in the proceeding taking place, and even in applauding, even if he doesn't know the lady, he just sits there smugly making faces like a little clown. Watch this, and then we'll get into what took place at the press briefing.
Before we open it up to questions today, I want to commend our pool photographer who is in the room with us today. ABC News photojournalist Melissa Young is retiring after 44 incredible years on the job, covering here at the White House. Melissa, congratulations. You have the largest round of applause I've ever heard in this room. So
that should tell you just about everything you need to know about Lil Tim Pool, who, by the way, isn't dressed appropriately for the occasion. Remember Brian Glenn pressing Volodymyr Zelensky on not wearing a suit and the disrespect? Tim Pool, just let it shine, brother. You lost your hair. Just cope. Just deal with it. Just be a regular man. Just shave your head or whatever. If you can't, I can tell you, it was 80 degrees in Washington, D.C. yesterday. Being a resident of the city, it's not beanie weather, dude. Can you imagine what it smells like under that thing? Anyway, neither here nor there. Caroline Levitt introduces him proudly, giving him the honor of kicking off the press pool briefing with this ridiculous, stupid, again, because he is a propagandist, propaganda question.
All right, let's get to it. We have an individual in our new media seat today. His name is Tim Pool. He's a political commentator and a media entrepreneur with millions of followers, a very big platform. Currently hosts Timcast IRL, a daily news and discussions show, and The Culture War, a weekly podcast exploring cultural and political issues. His programs feature in-depth conversations on topics such as free speech, censorship, identity politics, and societal change, often engaging with a diverse range of guests. He's in Washington today because we are also hosting a local media row across the street in the Eisenhower building, which is a testament to our commitment to bring new voices into the White House to cover the president and this administration. So Tim, why don't you kick us off today?
Yes, many of the news organizations that are represented in this room have marched in lockstep on false narratives, such as the Very Fine People hoax, the Covington smear, and now what's being called the Maryland Man hoax. where an MS-13 gang member adjudicated by 2 different judges, I believe, is just simply being referred to as a Maryland man over and over again. Now, in an effort from the White House to expand access to new companies, you've created this new media seat. So I'm wondering if you can comment on, following this expansion, you've had numerous outlets disparage the companies that you've had sit here, as well as the reporters. I'm wondering if you could comment on the unprofessional behavior, as well as elaborate if there's any plans to expand access to new companies.
Sure. Well, we certainly welcome diverse viewpoints in this room, which is one of the reasons we have you in here, and there's many new faces in this room in comparison to the previous administrations. We want to welcome all viewpoints into this room. We welcome unbiased journalists who really care about the truth and the facts and the accuracy, and you rightfully pointed out the Maryland man story, which I, from this podium, when The Atlantic published it, on that very first day, I came to this podium and said, this is wrong. The press in this room have this story wrong, and we have seen more and more evidence come to the table that we have had all along. We were always right. The president was always on the right side of this issue to deport this illegal criminal from our community. And it is despicable to see the media continue to refer to this individual as someone who is just a peaceful man living his life in Maryland. This was and always has been an illegal criminal, an MS-13 gang member, and a designated foreign terrorist. And the administration maintains our position to deport these individuals from our community. So thank you for being here, Tim. It's great to see you. Thank you.
First of all, just introducing him ended up just being a commercial for his dopey little show. Tim IRL, the Tim Cast, millions of supporters and subscribers, where he has a varied range of guests. Ugh, just very, very cringe. But getting to his question, many of the press organizations represented in this room, he tries to put on some weird professional, I guess in his brain, voice. It's all fake. It is all propaganda on his part. And for him to shamelessly sit there and talk about propaganda while again being paid by Russia just months ago, and then, oh, we had no idea it was Russia. I don't believe it. A lot of people tiptoe around it. I don't believe it. I believe Tim Pool is a fucking liar. But talking about false narratives is rich. And then for this White House to put him there while, if you don't remember, the Associated Press is banned, now cut from the White House press pool altogether while it meanders through the courts, this is problematic. And for Tim Pool to invoke the word unprofessional while talking about his colleagues in the room is rich, is it not? Well, he went on to his show and tried to make to borrow the term again, he made a show of how this might not be the most important thing, and I don't want to cover myself because, he abides by journalistic standards. I don't want to make myself the story, but it is the top trending news thing on X. He means Twitter. Watch this just display of false humility and just reject arrogance.
Now, we do have a bunch of other smaller stories, but today we actually were going back and forth on this. And I want to stress, I wasn't so sure if we should lead with me and ourselves, but I guess we will, because this actually is a top trending story on X. It's the third largest trending story, or highest trending story in the country, that I sat in the new media seat, Tim Pool, and asked a question about the media lying in what's called the Maryland man hoax. And boy, is the media pissed about it. We knew they would be, and I thought I was being rather professional. So we can break down exactly how this went down and why I was at the White House and the reaction to it. But this does strike at the core of the Abrego Garcia story, in which the media has been lying. And following the question I asked in the briefing room, which was intending to highlight that the media is lying about this story, they are continuing to lie and claim that a man from El Salvador, we got the court documents, is actually from Maryland. Now, from means you originated from this place. It's a lie. So we'll go through that. And I got a bunch of great interviews today at the White House. It's a very interesting day. We'd love to talk about. And we will be rolling out interviews in the next couple of days as well. But we can discuss some of what was said.
Yeah, because that's what it's about, Tim. It's about you. Look, if I would never be, I did sign up for this, by the way, to get a seat at the table to ask a question. That'll never happen. They're too afraid of actually answering any questions of substance from people who are not journalists in the traditional sense, but who will ask hard-hitting, pointed questions and shine a light on their fascism and hypocrisy and lies and lack of patriotism. I'll never be there. But if I was, yeah, I would talk about it for sure. But you know what I wouldn't do is feign as though, oh, I wasn't going to talk about this, but it's the biggest story, so I'm going to. It's all fake. It's all phony. It's all propaganda. That is what he does best. And he's paid handsomely for it, at least he was, by the Kremlin, our enemy, our foreign adversary, trying to push their propaganda to better their position in the world as they invade their neighbors and murder women and children and firebomb hospitals. Tim Pool. Brought to you by Tim Pool. Anyway, what do you think? I would appreciate your participation in this conversation. You can comment below. All of the Tim Pool fans who will inevitably find this video, you are welcome to leave a comment. You can also call the voicemail line. Free to call and leave a voicemail, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. You can find me on social media just about everywhere except for Nazi Twitter. Everywhere else at Dollemore. I'd love to see you there. And I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another. Are you tired of your entree growing cold while you're stuck outside smoking near the restaurant entrance? Or perhaps you're craving a puff, but you're stuck in the airport for the next several hours. And that's if you don't get delayed. Or possibly you've just had enough of your clothes smelling like smoke. Don't get up, get your nicotine fix right there, or anywhere for that matter, with Zipix nicotine toothpicks. Socially acceptable yet discreet, Zipix toothpicks not only serve as an excellent nicotine delivery service, they also satisfy the oral fixation associated with smoking and vaping. You don't have to hit the bricks to get your fix. Instead, try Zipix. Head to zipixtoothpicks.com today and score 10% off by using code Dollemore at checkout. Available in 6 delicious flavors with 2 and 3 milligram options, Zipix are perfect for long flights, restaurants, and all those other places where you're no longer allowed to smoke or vape. Zipix are also one of the most cost-effective nicotine products on the market, and they're proudly made right here in the United States. Why not give your lungs a break? Hundreds of thousands of customers count on Zipix for their nicotine fix without needing to inhale toxic smoke or vape oils. Or maybe you're just looking for a boost. Zipix also offers caffeine and B12 infused toothpicks too. Stop interrupting your life with cigarettes and vapes. Go to zipixtoothpicks.com today and score 10% off by using code Dollemore at checkout. You must be 21 years or older to order and be warned that nicotine is an addictive chemical. Nix that fix with Zipix nicotine toothpicks.